In the previous lessons, we learned that we need to bring our whole hearts to Jesus and that we have an incredible opportunity to enjoy and express the gift of generosity that Jesus has so generously given to us. But what about the day-to-day money stuff, like buying coffee or paying bills? How should our day-to-day money lives be impacted if we love Jesus and we have him at the center of our money lives? I was a surf instructor during my college years. Typically, beginner surfers walk out carrying their boards on their hips and then panic when a wave comes their way. Most often, as the beginner surfer would panic, they would freeze and clench and passively hope that the waves would not do them any harm. More often than not, the waves would knock them over or strip their surfboard away or even knock the surfboard towards their face, giving them a bloody nose. All of this is easily avoided by learning one simple skill. As their instructor, I would teach my students to grip the board at the nose and then jump at every wave proactively, pushing the tip of the board on the lip of the wave. This proactive movement would allow the surfer to simply pop right over the wave without any trouble. And this lesson has a strong parallel for our money lives. Waves of financial demands come straight at us all the time. And if we're passive and just close our eyes, hoping for the best, we will likely get knocked over or whacked in the head by debt collectors or late fees or empty bank accounts. What's needed is to learn one simple, proactive habit. We should simply spend 3 minutes a day keeping track of our income and expenses. This tracking habit is a type of boundary that will help our money lives flourish. People tend to not like boundaries since they limit us. But paradoxically, those limits are often what's needed for good things to flourish. For example, marriage is a type of limiting boundary that will actually enable physical intimacy to flourish. Also, limiting our calories every day as we eat is a boundary that enables our bodies to flourish. In the same way, the regular habit of tracking our income and expenses is a boundary that will allow our money lives to flourish. This daily habit is like a punch in the lip of the financial waves of life. And as we proactively track our money lives, we will more easily pop right over the gnarly waves that would normally topple us right over. This daily habit is a foundation habit for all other good financial habits. This daily habit can also be woven into your quiet times. Since your money and your heart are so interwoven already, why not bring your whole heart to Jesus by showing him how you're spending his money? One of my favorite parts of my quiet time each day is when I spend a few minutes tracking my income and expenses. For example, before I came here today, I looked up how I spent money over the past weekend. There was a Taco Bell expense, a cell service payment, and a Lego purchase for my son and daughter. It is a wonderful exercise to stop a moment and let gratitude fill our hearts for our expenses and income. Looking at these three expenses, it's easy for me to get into a place of great thankfulness for how the Lord Jesus provided food for my belly, cell service so that I could connect with others, and fun toys for my children. It can be very encouraging and centering to stop for 3 minutes a day in an attitude of reflection and thankfulness to track and categorize your income and expenses. This exercise can be thought of as a type of spiritual discipline. It's a beautiful communication tool that helps me draw nearer to Jesus. Not only that, as I track my expenses, I become keenly aware of how much the Lord has given me, which allows me to plan better, and I rarely spend more than I earn because of it. This will help me avoid debt, which enables me to be more generous. For example, this 3-minute habit saved me hundreds of dollars in just one day. During one particular morning, I started my 3-minute tracking habit and noticed a subscription charge for $69 for a music service that my 5-year-old Sage had started because she had learned how to talk to Alexa. I also noticed an incorrect late fee of $80 on my credit card. I also saw that I had spent more than I thought on fast food, and so I'd need to cut back a little bit this week. Within a few minutes, I was able to clear all of the charges and then decide to cut back on my spending on fast food. I literally had just saved over $100. Engaging in this tracking boundary is a boundary that enables my money life to be more pleasant. By proactively tracking my income and expenses, I'm essentially punching the lip of the waves of my financial demands and popping right over the hard shore break in order to catch some great waves on the outside. This contrasts to those who do not limit themselves with this tracking boundary and instead get knocked over repeatedly by unexpected financial demands, and end up with sand and seaweed of credit card debt stuck in their hair. So let's go out and start tracking our expenses every day and bring everything before the Lord in a regular practice of intimacy and thanksgiving.